stream should be up. Can you talk for me real quick?
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Hell yeah.
Was that loud?
Nope.
Wait, the stream's up. Let me hear myself. So I feel like I was a little quiet in the last video. Not gonna lie.
It's because of the source on the stream, Vinny.
What do you mean?
It's not your fault. It's my fault. Because if we watch a video and stream, I can't use desktop audio. I have to use application audio. Okay? And desktop audio makes you louder. Application audio makes you quieter for some reason. But when we're watching a game, I have to use application audio because if I pick up the Chelsea game, I could get banned.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right. Because I'm listening to the game on my headphones. So I can't just have everything that's coming through my headphones, which is what I have right now. Everything that comes through my headphones goes right to the stream. But when we do that thing, or when we do the reaction to a game, I can't do that because the game's coming through my headphones. So then I have to just take the Discord audio and stream that. And for some reason, it just makes it quieter. I don't know.
Technology's wild, dude. I don't really. Oh, yeah, you're right. It does sound way better. All right. Well, let's copyright infringements and all that good stuff.
All right, cool. Well, I think I'm ready to go.
Where do you want to start here? We started with Chelsea last video, I think.
I think we started with Newcastle, but I don't really care.
Oh no, we did. All right, so yeah, let's do your thing. Do your intro. Coming at you,
dude. I'll hit him with the coming at you.
I know you will, and then you'll be like, cut.
No, I'll stick with it. I'll do it on purpose this week.
That is not genuine.
You were lagging.
You'll do it.
Yeah, I will for sure. And it's not genuine, but if I do it on purpose, it is genuine.
Well, it's genuinely on purpose.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Gotta make sure. All right. And then.
Sorry, folks, we're clearly having some technical difficulties.
Well, okay. There's pieces on Jamie's on her desk over there, and I don't want them in the YouTube video. You know?
I mean, that's fair. That's why I have nothing to say. That's completely fair. Jamie's trying to stop how it does.
True, she is, always. All right, here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video with Matt and Vin. We are going to go over some games this week, just like every other. Yeah, I don't like it already. I was like,
yeah.
Cut. Marker, take 2.
Come on, dude. You gotta.
No, I'm good. I was ready to go. I'm ready to go. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of Matt and Vin. This is game week 3 review. So we're going to go over some games here. We're going to start with Chelsea real quick. Any quick words before we go over Chelsea, Vin?
No, not really. I mean, a couple wild games, a couple interesting things, 1 or 2 that we might touch on the end. But I think we just get right into it with the games, like you said. And we'll start with yours. A little Chelsea action off the top.
All right, so Chelsea, unfortunately, the result was 1-1. We tied with Crystal Palace at home, and I personally was not too happy with the result, but it is what it is. We at least got a point. We should have won that game, but we also did not play like we should have at the same time. There was definitely a couple chances that we could have finished, and we didn't. We did play good early in the game, got that early goal in the 25th minute, but after that, we pretty much fell off, and we let Eze do whatever he wanted, and he capitalized. It was 1-1, and it was deadlock for the rest of the game. So I don't know, not really too much to take away. We need to play better than that, and we've shown that we can play better than that. Even the goal that we scored was really good. So we just need to see more of that. I don't know.
Any
Not really much.
because
anything else.
obviously I didn't get to watch that game. Actually, we were live streaming the a watch along. So, I was on my game, you were on your game. I did want to ask you something though, since we haven't got the chance to talk about it since then. Do you feel like these past two games have technically been losses? Yeah, I'm talking about in the conference league too. You're you lost Sterling, you lost a couple other veteran players that have been there for a little bit. Is there a leadership issue? Do you think that might be starting to brew? You dropped that game in the conference league. You dropped points today, like you said. You were up. You dropped points today.
Do you know
do you
who our
feel like-
captain is?
Well, it's Enzo Fernandez, right? Still,
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that says it all.
we don't have a leader.
So, do you think in the past two games dropping those, especially these couple points, do you feel like you watched, since I didn't get to watch it? Did you watch and say, man, I wish there was someone out there who's like been in these kind of situations before that could rally the troops when you're up?
Yeah, I
Do
think.
final blow, the thing we always talk about, the final blow.
Yeah, I think our team is just missing that, like, I guess you could say leader, but more like, Thiago Silva brought that old man vibe where it was just like, all right, we're going to get behind this guy and he's going to, score a header in the 90th minute to win the game if he has to, like he's going to
We
go
don't have
above and
that anymore.
beyond. Yeah, exactly. He's going to go above and beyond and make everyone else raise the bar. And I don't think maybe Cole Palmer is that player for us, but he's a very casual player, as we know. Like he's not very loud and, like his play isn't very loud, I should say. He's not loud himself either. You don't really see him telling people what to do. He just does his own thing. I don't even know. I feel like he never even calls for the ball. People are just looking for him. But even like when he doesn't get the ball, you never see him like throw his hands up. So it's like that he's just not like he doesn't have that leader mentality, but he leads with his play, I guess you could say. Now Reece James had both, and we're really missing that, I would say. So
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, I didn't get to watch it, so I don't know what really happened. Was it like well deserved by Crystal Palace, or
it was
do you feel like you guys let off?
It was a deserved 1-1. It was the game should have ended 1-1.
So nothing really to take away. You're not. I'm sure you're not happy about it, but it doesn't seem like you're calling for any heads yet, like some of the fan bases out there.
No, we need some more time. We're still learning this new system. It's not perfect. I think we played good in the last game against Wolves in the Premier League. I mean, against Servette, we lost. We did not play good there. And that's another thing, right? Like, we lost there. We came into this game off of a loss, and then you come off with a draw. You get up 1-0, and you think, like, oh, here we go again. We're going to score and win, and then you get scored on, and it just doesn't happen. So, and then morale just drops and drops and drops. And, again, had some chances, but you'd have to finish those. And Nicholas Jackson is still really young. He did bury one of them. And he just needs to start finishing. That's all I can say.
Now, one other thing I did want to ask you, because I recall, I didn't ask you during the live stream, but I recall you said this because it stuck out to me ever since you said that. You said João Felix, I think, has been on the field. I didn't even know this guy was on the field. Has he even gotten the ball yet? Was that real, or were you mistaking him for someone else?
No, he was
Or
on
was
the
he really
pitch.
there and just doing nothing?
I guess I got up for a couple minutes and came back and then realized he was on the pitch. And then I was like, oh, look, number 14 is João Felix. And then for the next, 10 minutes, I don't even remember him touching the ball. It was like,
Yeah, because you were like, has he even done anything?
yeah, it was very bizarre. I don't know. That whole part of the game was a blur, I think, because I was just dooming at that point, right? It's 1-1. Every time we would get a chance, it's like, oh, I don't know. It is what it is. What can you do? We'll see what happens next week.
Hey, a point's a point. Could have been 3, but what
Yeah,
are you going to do? It's better
we got
than
a point.
blowing it like Everton.
I'm cool with the point. We're 1/10 of the way from surviving relegation. That's a plus.
You like Maresca?
I like how he deals with players,
Okay.
and I mean, I like how it looks when it works. I don't like how we leave our defense so vulnerable
Oh,
so
you're right
often.
about that.
Yeah, I don't like at all.
Do you guys play a high line? Because that seems to be
Uh,
the thing people are doing, like Ange with that.
Kinda.
We'll
We're
go over in a
we're
second, but
basically playing like a two back at some points. Like, um, one of the one of the center defensive mids drops back, and then one of the fullbacks is next to him, and we almost play like a box, like a 2-2, you know. And then you'll even see times where the center backs will like step up, and then one of those guys will slot back into like a center back position. But again, like it leaves us so vulnerable because there's nothing on the wings. And I mean, Kukurea is always running his ass off to try to catch up to some dude who's like a foot taller than him. And I don't know. It's just, again, it looks really good when it works, but it scares me.
it scares me.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's you walk away with something, right? So
Yeah.
that's not too bad. I know in the live stream you did not seem too happy. At least for the beginning of the game you did, but
Yeah.
towards
I
the
was
end you
hyped.
didn't.
Yeah. But then the whole second half, I was pretty quiet. There wasn't really much to even talk about. It was
Right on.
a
Well,
disappointment. Second half.
on the flip side of the coin, we had my game going on at the same exact time.
Yeah, it was a little
And,
different though. A little different than mine.
extremely different. I mean, we're 2-1 win. We almost pulled to you guys. We almost pulled to you guys. But I had a good time. Good time for sure. It was a good game. Last week, or even I think in one of these videos we were talking about the triple threat. Barnes, Isak, and Gordon. And that's how we lined up. Tonali didn't start. He did come in, so he saw some playing time. But that triple threat is something that I brought up to you a couple times, and I think could be really, really lethal in the league. Honestly, I think Harvey Barnes is underrated. And seriously, we started the game 10 minutes in. 10 minutes into the game, Harvey Barnes has a curler of a shot passed to him from guess who? Gordon on the other side, who took the ball, cut in, found Barnes. Barnes cuts in. The iconic Barnes goal, curls it just wide. 10 minutes into the game, the three of them are starting, and we're already looking absolutely primo. Absolutely primo. Tottenham played a good game. We were talking before the game and during the game. Odegaard, he is someone that I think everyone needs to watch. Honestly,
Yeah.
at times, I said to you, he's kind of making Lloyd Kelly look a little silly out there at times. When he was on that side of the field, he was extremely scary. Tottenham did have a header called off. We were Romero, I think it was the center back from Tottenham. He came in on a header, but he was a mile offside. He didn't even celebrate. So, first part of the game, first like 40-ish minutes, it was wide open. Very good game. I said to you, I was like, dude, we're like 16 minutes in, and I think I just seen our 8th corner kick collectively between both teams. Like it was wide open for a little bit. Kind of tapered off a little bit there. Then 38th minute came. Throw in on the left side. I believe Gordon threw it into Kelly. Kelly finds Barnes on the cutback, and Barnes curls it. Opens his hip, hits a beautiful shot one time, boom, right into the far corner. To go up 1-0 going into halftime. I think Newcastle played good. We did score on ourselves on an own goal. Kind of nothing you could do about it. Pope did make a nice save on the initial shot from, I think it was Kulusevski. Pope had a good game, had a beautiful save on a Madison curler from outside of the box. My only takeaway, really, as a fan, is this. And I wanted to ask you about this. In football, they have this idea of running back by community in the NFL. If you don't have a really good running back, you might have 3 average running backs, and collectively they'll be as good as one. Newcastle had issues in this window getting a right winger, and it's a problem I've brought up here on the podcast on the channel. Is right wing by committee a viable thing in the Premier League. We bring Murphy on. Murphy gets the assist that leads to the game-winning goal in Isak. Is that something, you've been watching the Prem a lot longer than me? Is that something that teams could do? Is that something we could pull off? Seems to be working.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, when you have players of that quality, if they can make it work together, that's another thing too, right? Like you have to be able to be cohesive, and
Everyone's going to buy in.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, I mean that
with
that
a good
final
coach
goal,
too, like
yeah,
it
that final
all
goal
makes it work.
was insane. Me and you were laughing during the live stream, but I just went back and watched the clips to notice this. During the game, Joelinton kept dropping back into like a fifth defender,
Mhm.
kind of protecting that side, especially when Odebear was on that side, kind of backing up Lloyd Kelly a little bit. Eventually, Brennan Johnson came in. He's insane. That's a guy to watch. That goal that we scored, Murphy to Isak it in, started with Joelinton. Joelinton dropped all the way back and picked up the ball from Dan Burn, the center back. It wasn't Bruno and it wasn't Tonali. Joelinton took that ball, beat a man, and hit a 50-yard dime of a through ball up the right side to Murphy, who Murphy's fast, dude. That guy is like a stallion. He is a horse. And he was just gone, dude. He was just absolutely gone and unselfish, gives it to Isak and goes in. So I was thinking to myself, just to wrap it up here, the last little thought I had. Thinking back to all our goals, we had Gordon score one from the right side when Harvey Barnes was on the left. Gordon scored one on the right side. Isak has an assist from the right side to Joelinton, who scored earlier this season. Murphy now has an assist from the right side to Isak in the game. So I was thinking to myself, like, is right wing really a spot of concern for us? Is a lot of our chances and a lot of our opportunities and a goal seem to be coming from the right side.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was the one telling you in the first place before the season even started that you don't necessarily need a right winger. I mean, you have obviously we've gone over it already, but you have Barnes and Gordon, and if one of them can figure out to play right, which clearly we're seeing that Gordon can play on the right just fine, then yeah, you could make this work. I remember thinking, like, I didn't even think about that. I always figured, Gordon would stay on the left, but no. Barnes Barnes could be insane. First of all, Barnes could be absolutely insane.
Insanely underrated player, for sure.
He needs to stay healthy. Okay?
Yes.
If Barnes stays healthy, I'm absolutely terrified of your front three. Because Gordon, I mean, he's a dog. He's going to be okay wherever he plays. Isak, he needs to stay healthy too. That's another thing, right? Your team's scariest, biggest issue is potential injuries. Because if you don't have injuries, you have an extremely good, scary team. I mean, we talked about your midfield, right? Like, you and I, off stream and off camera, or whatever, talked about your midfield. I think it's one of the best in the world.
I think it could be. Especially Joelinton dropping back like that, like he's Sergio Busquets, picking the ball up from the center back and hitting a dime of a pass. 2 years ago, he was a striker, dude.
So to go full circle here with that type of midfield, I mean, your defense is a little bit of a worry still, obviously. But so is Chelsea's, right? Like, if you can make it work with a defense like that, you have a scary midfield. You could have a really scary front three. And no, I don't think you really need that big name right winger. Your goal is top 4. It's not to win the Premier League. It's to get into Europe, right? It's not even top 4. It's to get into Europe.
And then we're off to a good start already. I think this right wing by committee could really be interesting. I do. I'd like to see, do, like you said, in January, do we need to go buy a right wing? We'll have to wait and see. But I think so far, I like this Murphy, Gordon, Almadon came in at the end. I think it's serviceable. I don't think it's world class. I think it's serviceable.
Yeah, agreed. No, I absolutely agree. Now, let me ask you a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's scarier, Newcastle or Brighton?
Brighton.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
On paper, Newcastle should be scarier than Brighton.
On paper, yeah, but I think that Brighton is riding some kind of wild wave that no other team is on right now.
So let's
Will they come
segue
crashing
here
down? Yeah.
into Brighton, right? Like again, will they come crashing down? Can they pull it
Probably.
off? You know, like
Or can they be Aston Villa of last year and finish in a European spot and mess everything up?
that's what I'm saying, right? Because I'm sitting here saying like that could be you, but if you specifically have been saying nonstop, Brighton's so scary, Brighton's so scary. I think they're good, but I still think you're scarier than Brighton, right? Like, is Brighton gonna be the team to knock you out of Europe and take your spot, or are they gonna take Chelsea out? Like,
They can.
so again, we're using this as a segue. That Brighton Arsenal game, I think, backs up your point here. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not totally bought in still, but they played really well. I mean, obviously, it was a 1-1 draw with a red card, let's say. I'm not gonna.
Well, it was a red card.
I would say
there's
a
nothing to say.
controversial red card. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was. But is it controversial? The Arsenal fans think so,
The
but
only thing controversial was the yellow card on the initial foul earlier in the game. That
Yeah.
could have been a red, dude. That's the controversy. The actual red, I think it's cut and dry.
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree at all. He deserved the red card.
But
And
even
I was
without
happy to
that,
see it.
if this was ultimately your question, Brighton still could have drawn that game.
Yeah, no, they didn't
Easy.
need the red
I
card
think
to draw that.
I
game.
do think that Brighton is that, and they showed it against Arsenal. Like, they're legit, dude. They are for real.
They almost won the game.
They could have won the game.
Yeah.
João Pedro's playing insane. I think that game showed that. Yeah, I'm deathly afraid of Brighton, and I think that the people who are supposed to finish in the top four should be afraid. Brighton, Liverpool, top billing, dude. Top billing right now.
So then you say Liverpool. Let's go here. That Liverpool Man U game. How about that, bud? 3-0, huh? Yeah, Luis Diaz.
Why
Go
is
ahead.
Ten Hag even a coach?
Okay, let's start there then. You want to start there? I don't know. I think he should have been let go after last season, and they wanted to keep him.
Well,
Why
he
is he
brought up
here?
in one of his interviews 2 trophies in 2 years. He keeps, he's bringing that up. He brought that up. He sounded like a poor man's Jose Mourinho, honestly. Ironically, didn't Jose Mourinho say that while he was the coach of Man United, when he was like 4 wins?
Something like
It
that. Yeah.
Maybe it's a United thing. I don't know. But his press conferences are becoming weird. Liverpool made them look silly. They could have scored 6. They probably just felt bad. Man United's horrible. They subbed off Garnacho at some point and left Marcus Rashford on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on over
I
there,
have
dude.
no idea. I mean,
Totally lost.
on the other side of the ball, though, Liverpool looked insane.
They are insane.
First of all, I want to start on this. Luis Diaz is terrifying. Like, I know he's
He's
good.
terrifying.
I've known that he's good. But Mo Salah started the season on fire, and he still looks on fire. And now Luis Diaz scored a brace, and he looks insane. And I think I predicted Liverpool quite wrong this season. Liverpool as a whole are terrifying. I think they might be. I think they're better than Arsenal right now. And I think they're our best shot at taking down Man City because they look insane.
You know what's even scarier? Maybe to you, because you were more in tune with things, years ago than I was. Mo Salah in a press conference, I don't know if it was directly after the game, but someone asked him about, if the contract situation is, are they working on it? Is he going to resign? And in so many words, and at one point, he said basically like he's just playing his football. Now that's kind of scary because then maybe he's just out there literally like, dude, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be here pretty soon. I'm just going to go out there and have fun. And he's playing out of his mind at 32, whatever.
He's won everything there is in football, other than like a Ballon d'Or, and he's not going to do that.
3 goals in 3 games, I think.
That right. So if he's won everything at this point, it's like new coach. What is there to lose? Let's just go out there and have fun.
He's 1 foot out the door, you know.
Not getting any younger.
When I heard that, I was like, "That's oh, he's gonna go out there and just play free."
And then
free
if you
football,
got
dude.
Luis Diaz playing like he is on the other side, I mean, Diogo Jota is always a threat to go off at any moment. I mean, Darwin Nunez even coming off the bench or whatever his deal is, like that could even be scary at sometimes, or he could miss every, shot like Nicholas Jackson. But yeah, I'm absolutely terrified of Liverpool. I mean, they look insane.
Yeah. There was one other thing. I forgot his name, and I don't want to mispronounce it, so I'm checking right now. But Gravenberch.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He
I don't know.
Yeah, he had himself a game. I didn't watch it. You asked me earlier. I didn't watch it. I was listening to it while I was out doing some stuff on Talk Sport. They kept talking to him. Liverpool was in the market for a 6 and said they get Chiesa at a poor man's discount, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. I forgot that even happened.
And they got this guy in there with McAllister, and he had himself a game. They were talking about it, but yeah, I mean, dude, Man United's just a tragedy, honestly. Like actually, it's just not even fun anymore to even think about or talk about.
They're in a worse spot than Chelsea are at this point.
I don't think Ten Hag makes it much longer.
No. I mean, I knew that over the summer. I saw glimpses of hope. And then now I've been reminded that I was correct about them. I don't know. They have nothing going for them. There's no upside. I mean, I just don't understand what they're doing and what their plan is, but they better figure something out really fast or it's going to spiral out of control very fast.
One last thing, and then we'll go through the scores, and I think that's pretty much a wrap unless you have anything else. But after the game, this is just so funny. After the game, there was an interview with Ten Hag, and the journalist was a Man United journalist and asked him a question about the players, what he wants the players to work on during this international break. And he said the generic coaching things, Ten Hag. And he said the work on their mentality, work on their fitness. He's been talking a lot about the player fitness, et cetera, et cetera. So the journalist goes, "You mentioned mentality." And Ten Hag literally goes, "I didn't say mentality." And there was just dead silence. And the journalist, I think it was Alex Crook, was like, "You literally just said mentality." He's like, "No, you don't know what you're talking about. I never said that word." And the journalist was like, "Okay, well, what do you think the problem is with your mentality?"
Oh my God.
Dude, his answers are getting so bad. Like I listened to that and I was like, dude, I think this guy's losing it. He's actually losing his mind.
Yeah.
The pressure must be killing him. As a human, you kind of almost feel bad, but like
just waiting for the phone call, waiting for the text message.
I was laughing my ass off. So I just had to throw that in there. It was hilarious. I knew you didn't hear that.
I don't think he makes it past the international break.
Well, I mean, we're on one right now, aren't we?
I don't know, right? Was that the last game or don't we have one more game?
Maybe. I think it's coming up. It's like very, 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 very close.
We are on one. You're right.
Yeah, so that's why the question was relevant and even funnier that he did that happened. So yeah.
All right, so he does because I think they just confirmed that like they're sticking with Ten Hag, but then okay, so maybe he doesn't make it past the new year. Then
it doesn't matter.
He doesn't make it this season. There's no way. There's no way. But at the same time, who are they going to bring in? Who wants to go to Manchester United?
Well, that's the issue. Now I don't even want to get into it, but you just pinpointed a massive issue that they had originally. They didn't even re-sign Ten Hag, dude. They used the 1-year option at the end of his contract.
They wanted
So they
to
didn't
get
even
rid of
feel
him.
they didn't even feel confident enough to give him 2 or 3 years. Maybe they will just say, listen, keep us mid-table and then you're out the door. Maybe, but like,
Pretty sure Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher just argued the other day about how they wanted to get rid of Ten Hag, but there was no other option, so they decided to stick with him.
yeah.
So I don't know.
I think they liked Thomas
don't
Tuchel,
understand.
but I don't think he was going to do that. And then there was a couple other
not
people, and
going
they all
there.
said no. Exactly. So they're done. They're cooked. But you got some scores here. What about the rest of the games? And then we'll go over next week's matchups and call it a night.
All right, so Nottingham Forest and Wolves drew 1-1. Aston Villa beat Leicester City 2-1. Ipswich and Fulham tied 1-1. I believe you watched that game,
Massive.
right? You want to say anything
I
about
watched that game. Watched that game. It was a wild game. I predicted in the last video that Fulham win. They didn't quite get there, unfortunately. But yeah, I watched that game. Fire game. I think Fulham's absolutely insane. Traore, we've been talking about him.
He's so
I had to
good.
check. He was the goal scorer, and then Liam Delap, the Man City guy, scored for Ipswich Town. So
You love Ipswich.
dude, I like the story of Ipswich. I want them to stay up, and they're trying to stay up. Clearly, I mean,
Yeah,
look
I
at the
wanna see
people
them
they're
stay up too.
signing.
I hope they do. Good for them.
Look at the signings. Look at the loans. They want to stay up.
So moving on to the next one, Brentford beat Southampton 3-1. I did not even see that. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Looks like, yeah. I mean, they killed them. Southampton didn't score till the 95th minute. So, hey, you said Brentford's going down, and if they're going to stay up, those are the games that they need to win. So,
Ivan
see what
Toney's
happens.
officially out. So now the season
yeah.
starts.
What happened? Where did he go?
Saudi.
He did go to Saudi.
Yeah.
They sold him. He's gone.
Yeah, I think he's on stupid money too. Like weekly salary. That's insane.
Ivan Toney to bank UK equivalent of 1 million euros a week in Saudi Arabia.
There you go. Good for him.
Good for him. I have nothing to say about that other than good for him. I'm jealous. Bournemouth beat Everton 3-2. And I'm pretty sure they were losing the entire game.
It was 2-0 the whole entire time. Bournemouth
Yeah.
scored 3 goals in like 6 minutes.
Everton scored in the 50th and 57th minute. It was 2-0. And then in the 87th minute, Bournemouth scored one. Then the 90 plus 2, they scored a second one to tie it 2-2. And then 4 minutes later in the 90 plus 6, they scored to win 3-2. I saw
done.
quick highlights of that. Insane. Absolutely
Everton's
insane.
done, dude. Everton's an absolute free fall, and I think they're done.
Maybe they're the ones going down.
How do you, dude? Not even to get into it, but just to ask you a question, ask anyone. Leave an answer in the comment, please. How are you up 2-0? You only make 2 substitutions, and then you watch the other team make 5 substitutions, and then you watch the other team score 3 goals in your face. Come on, Sean. Come on, man.
It's the most Everton thing
Bad
ever.
look, man. You got to make subs. When you have 5 subs, you got to make subs. That's crazy.
I have no idea.
Everton's done, dude. That's the definition of done. That's rotted. That club's rotting.
Week 4, they're done. And then last and very most least, Manchester City. God, I hate them. They beat West Ham 3-1. And I'm sure no one's surprised by that. They're
Haaland hat trick. It's over.
Man City. It is what it is.
That's-
And I believe that's it for us. Next week, looks like Man U play Southampton, Liverpool play Nottingham Forest, Man City play Brentford.
It's not next week.
Oh yeah, not next week. I'm sorry. In 2 weeks,
2
because no games. Sorry, this is the 14th. Doesn't look like any like. Oh, there's one big matchup. Hold on. So Palace play Leicester, Brighton play Ipswich, Villa play Everton, Bournemouth play Chelsea, Wolves play Newcastle, and then game of the week, the North London Derby.
No Declan Rice. Forgot the rules, and now he's suspended for the derby.
And Tottenham are looking good too. I mean, yeah, they just
dang
lost
it,
to you,
yeah.
but like they aren't looking too bad. And without Declan
Son looks
Rice,
insane.
and I don't know if Solanke's gonna be back, but if he is, I mean, that could again be the decider. We'll see.
Arsenal bottling already.
I would love to see it.
Tie Brighton. No, dude, we predicted them to win, man.
I don't care. I don't care. I predict them to win. I hope Liverpool beat City. Liverpool all the way. Let's go. I predict them like
changing it.
5th or 6th. I don't care.
Brighton all the way.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They're gross. They're gross.
Yeah. Well, I got nothing left, so
Yeah, I was just gonna say Brighton's in 3rd place right now. I know it's only been
That's
3 weeks,
insane.
but they're in 3rd place right now, above Arsenal.
who knew?
Brighton, Liverpool, City. We'll see what happens next week.
Wow.
All right, well,
Titans at the top.
we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on Spotify. Tell your friends, and we will see you next weekend. Anything else,
Yes,
Vin?
2 weekends.
2 weekends. I'm sorry.
weekends.
Hopefully, no. Well, no. Next weekend we don't even have a Red Bulls game.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'm saying, but like to go to.
Yes, we do.
No, this Saturday we don't have a game. It's away.
We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, whatever. We'll do something. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace out.